Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault. And there are people who would like to do the same to us here, and unfortunately, some of them are in our own party. But I can promise you this, as long as I'm in Congress, they ain't gonna win. So thank you guys for having me.
Point of view where we don't believe in the divinity of Christ. I think that there you can make an argument that the Gospels, which were written...
He was just a prophet.
No. We don't even believe he was a prophet.
What do you think he was? What do you guys think he was?
What do I think he was historically? I think he was a Jew who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble.
I have to go to war with Israel, although I wouldn't be against it, but that's not going to happen. I'd like to decouple. They are not our allies. Decouple. Let's separate. No more money for you. No more aiding and abetting your war crimes. No more bribing Egypt so they play nice with you. Decouple. That's what I want. And then Israel can do whatever they want with their regime. But I want nothing to do with them.
We're here because of the comments you made online about the Jewish community.
So what?
No, I'm saying, are you...
I have a freedom of speech, dude.
Yeah, no, we get that. We get that.
We gotta make sure that you're not...
Do you have a warrant?
No.
And what you're doing is basically soliciting. You understand that, right? Yeah. It means you're not welcomed here.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
We, Europe, people of freedom, Jews, Christians, people who believe in liberty around the world, we need to thank the Israelis for what they've been doing.
So, it's slightly like we in this at Palantir, we are on the side of the average American, who sometimes gets screwed.
Like the 10 nuclear scientists who were banished from this earth in 90 seconds on June 12th of this year, Haman's 10 sons were hanged.
Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. The Republican Care Bear Coalition just held its annual 2025 summit, and it was absolutely unhinged. It was as hilarious as it was frightening. It is clear that they are in panic mode as support for the Care Bear Nation has pretty much collapsed for anyone that is under the age of like 50 on both sides of the aisle. So they're scrambling, they're desperate, and at no point, of course, do they ever self-reflect. Do they ever consider maybe changing tactics? They just double down on their most outrageous behavior. So I have some clips here to share with you guys. We have the RNC chairman, Joe Gruters, who made a name for himself in 2020 by pushing for free speech on the internet, now crying for censorship and deplatforming of so-called anti-Care Bears, while speaking before the Republican Care Bear Coalition.
We're facing a rising tide of anti-Semitism in this country. We are seeing Jewish Americans harassed, assaulted, and targeted for violence at alarming and unprecedented rates.
This is actually not happening at all. In fact, there was one college girl who came up to a kid who was wearing an IDF shirt, and she kind of yelled at him, and he was recording, and she may have slapped his phone. They launched an official investigation into that. They've launched investigations into 12-year-olds making cartoons. Anytime somebody criticizes them, you can get a knock on the door by law enforcement. That doesn't happen for anybody else. There's not pogroms happening in Care Bear communities. People aren't just getting dragged out into the streets and beaten. It's not happening. This is ridiculous and absurd.
Many of our elite institutions, including the Ivy League college campuses, not only tolerate, but actively foster anti-Semitism. And instead of being condemned, anti-Semites are far too often given a public platform and allowed to spew their hatred without consequence.
So what he's talking about is the protest movements that were occurring across Ivy League campuses in opposition to the genocide that was happening in Gaza in front of everybody's eyes. And so they conflate criticism of the Care Bear Nation with criticism of Care Bears generally, or, oh, you just have an irrational hatred of us. They know exactly what they're doing, and it is beyond absurd.
As I speak to you, we are on the verge of seeing Zohran Mamdani, a communist anti-Semite who refused to explicitly condemn Hamas or the phrase globalized intifada, elected as mayor of our nation's largest city.
Yeah, and he has a lot of communist Care Bears who are supporting him. He has also vowed to keep on Jessica Tisch, the Care Bear billionaire heiress, and the NYPD has an office in Tel Aviv. Like, let's be real here.
Democrat candidates for governor in New Jersey, Mickey Sherrill, campaigned with an avid supporter of anti-Semite Louis Farrakhan, and Abigail Spanberger, running for governor in Virginia, has failed to condemn a fellow Democrat legislator who made overly anti-Semitic remarks. These are not
He doesn't care that she wouldn't condemn Jay Jones talking about wanting to unalive his political opponents and make them watch their children dying in their arms. That wasn't offensive to him. It was just somebody that it said something that could be perceived as anti-Care Bear that was concerning to him. Interesting.
Isolated incidents. Anti-Semitism has found a home in the Democrat Party. Instead of standing up for Jewish Americans over the last 4 years, Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress were silent. Thankfully, last November's
laughable. Kamala Harris is married to a Care Bear. Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is also married to a Care Bear. This is just ridiculous.
Voters said enough. We now have a president who is fighting to stop this scourge that has spread across our country. President Trump promised on the campaign trail that he would be the best friend Jewish Americans ever had in the White House. And I believe he has delivered on that promise.
And yet only gets 20% of their support and vote. Kind of ridiculous. So moving on, Mark Levin, seething as usual, labels Nick Fuentes, Little Adolf, and condemns Tucker Carlson as a full-blown, out-of-the-closet Care Bear hater. He demands that so-called conservative institutions speak out and do something. Somebody's got to do something. Well, we should call Will Stancil. We've been putting billions of dollars into you for half a century. We bought you. Why aren't you doing what we want? I mean, just outrageous, the things these people say.
Little Adolf. Fuentes, little Adolf. He gets here, he's got a little suit on like he's attending a funeral. My advice to little Adolf is just go full, put the brown shirt on. What are you, a coward? Put the brown shirt on. I know you can't grow the Hitler mustache, you're still stuck in your prepubescent stage, but give it a shot. Give it a shot. To Tucker Carlson, I say, did you have a head injury? What happened to you?
I mean, you know, it's just so ridiculous. And my thoughts are, who precisely is this supposed to appeal to? This type of rhetoric. I don't know anybody who likes Mark Levin.
But you know what? Unlike other people, truly, I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't care why. I just know what you are. You platform these people. You deceive your audience, you lie to your audience, you become a full-blown, out-of-the-closet Jew hater.
So the interesting thing, of course, is that every accusation by these people is a confession when they talk about putting out disinformation, misleading their audiences. He's really talking about what they do.
And if you're a Jew hater, you're a Christian hater.
What? I mean, I'm pretty sure the Talmud is a Christian-hating book that talks about how Christ is boiling in excrement and calls the Holy Theotokos, the Mother of God, essentially a prostitute. So, what?
If you reject Judaism and Christianity, then you reject the American founding based on the Judeo-Christian values and belief system.
Well, that's interesting because the phrase Judeo-Christian didn't exist until the 1950s. It is a false claim. Jewish people, Care Bears, did not found America. It was founded by Christians, and the Care Bear people reject Christ. They are anathema to Christianity. They are currently, or they were, I'm sure they're going to pick up and resume this activity again, bombing Christian churches across the Middle East.
If you embrace Hitler, if you play footsie with Hitler, if you think Hitler's misunderstood, if you think Churchill's the reason we had World War II.
I mean, yeah.
If you think Churchill was the provocateur.
I mean, he kind of was.
If you think those things, I don't want to debate you. I don't even care about you.
And yet, this entire event is dedicated to talking about people that you claim that you don't even care about. Interesting.
That's not a legitimate position.
Then it should be easy to debate and refute.
These aren't powerful people. Seriously? These aren't intelligent people. These are lowlives that have platforms.
Oh, like yourself, you mean?
If we can't speak out against them and fight them, what good are we?
What do you mean by fight them? It's interesting because I think more and more about Charlie Kirk.
Conservative institutions. We've been putting billions of dollars into conservative institutions for half a century.
But if we point that out, we're somehow bigots and conspiracy-minded. Interesting.
Now's the time. We're not interested in your white papers. We're not interested in your booklets. We're not interested in your donation requests. Unless now, when you're needed, you speak out.
Unless you do what we say and what we want, we will withhold the money from you. Billions of dollars. Oh, but it's a trope to say that they have disproportionate influence. Isn't that fascinating? Newsmax CEO Chris Ruddy declared that Bibi is the Winston Churchill of our time. He said that Milikowski not only saved the Care Bear Nation, but also saved America and the entire Western world. Newsmax reaches millions of viewers through its cable news channel, website, app, and publications. It's just incredibly embarrassing, guys.
It is said, I've said it before, and I believe it even more strongly today, that Benjamin Netanyahu is the Churchill of our time. His leadership against Iran didn't just save Israel, it saved America and the West. It is said...
I mean, what do you even say to that? It's so ludicrous. It doesn't even warrant any commentary. I think it's great that these people are saying this stuff, though, publicly. Like, I want them to do more of this. Newsmax CEO Chris Ruddy to the Republican Care Bear Coalition. Mark Levin is a real conservative, not Tucker or Candace. Real conservatives don't spread hate, and yet this entire event is about their hatred for people who criticize the Care Bear Nation. These folks are spreading old lies and anti-Care Bear claims, like the ones that Care Bears secretly control America. Well, I don't think it's a secret. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. They themselves brag about it. Tucker even claims that the Care Bears aren't the chosen people of God. Imagine that, he says. Yeah, I mean, they rejected him, so hello.
But increasingly, we're seeing dangerous rhetoric from the right in America.
Dangerous rhetoric? Speech is dangerous. Cry more.
Now, I don't call these people conservatives. Mark Levin sitting over there, he's a conservative.
No, he's a neo-Trotskyite.
Real
and a foreign agent.
Conservatives don't spread hate.
And this is what this entire event is about doing, obviously.
But some of these voices, people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, have made it their mission to target Israel. All the problems of the world left in America and the world, and they're focused on Israel. You got to wonder what's going on here.
Well, I think we all kind of wonder why every single U.S. politician is going over to the Care Bear Nation every other week, taking pictures, kissing the wall, constantly talking about it, sending billions of dollars to them, engaging in 20-year wars on behalf of the Care Bear Nation that cost Americans tons of money, loss of lives, not to mention the millions of Iraqi and Afghanis who lost their lives. I think that that's what people are upset about, isn't it?
They even question its right to defend itself, and they've made statements.
When they say defend themselves, they mean to engage in expansionist wars of aggression as the Care Bear Nation attacks 5 other sovereign countries at the same time, boasts about it, brags about it, laughs about it.
And taken actions that really undermine Israel's very right to exist. These folks are spreading old lies and anti-Semitic claims like the ones that Jews secretly control America. They control everything. Tucker recently made a post claiming Prime Minister Netanyahu is telling everyone he knows that he controls Donald Trump.
Yeah, he probably is. Netanyahu once bragged that America is easy to move and maneuver and laughed about it.
He's telling everyone this. With what the source is, I don't know. Well, anyone knows, either Bibi Netanyahu or Donald Trump knows this is just absolutely ridiculous that he would be making such a claim. Today, I just saw a post this morning. I was in Los Angeles before I came here, and claiming that without any source, that on the days that Israel was attacking Iran, Tucker claims he had sources in the Pentagon that Israeli generals and military people were going from room to room in the Pentagon telling the American generals what to do and what they couldn't do.
Well, that wouldn't be surprising. I mean, that's what they were doing at the beginning of the global war on terror. This has been confirmed by multiple people. So why would we think that anything less was happening today?
Bizarre, right?
Bizarre? How just bizarre?
At first, it seems like a laughable lie, but we cannot ignore it because it's really clever propaganda by Tucker. And it's also anti-Semitism, pure and simple. Don't forget, it's the same lie the Nazis told. The Jews controlled everything. They controlled Britain. They controlled the United States. Now it's being repackaged for a new generation of Americans, amplified by millions of dollars pouring into social media from bad actors around.
Oh, you mean like people like Milikowski paying influencers $7,000 a post to post pro-Care Bear propaganda?
On the world. That really needs to be investigated by Congress.
He's literally calling for people who criticize the Care Bear Nation to be investigated by Congress. But them giving American influencers $7,000 a post, that's fine. That's okay. Ted Cruz, of course, is psychotic. And I don't think this statement here would surprise anybody coming from Ted Cruz.
And replacement theology is a twisted view that the Jews are no longer God's chosen people, that
They're not.
the promises in the Old Testament no longer apply,
They don't.
and that Christians have replaced Jews.
Yes, they have. It is the Church of Christ. Yes.
Now, in my Bible, I believe every word of it is true, and I believe every promise that God made to the people of Israel remains a promise that is made to the chosen people.
Was this the Schofield Bible? And you know, this kind of pandering that we see American politicians do to the Care Bears, I mean, we're crazy for questioning their disproportionate influence when I don't see any American politicians pandering this hard to actual Christians or to American citizens who are supposed to be their constituents.
And the last I checked, Jesus was a Jew.
No, he is a Christian. My goodness. It's just so embarrassing. The crowd at the Republican Care Bear Coalition looks to be around 100 to 150 people. One could laugh at how little support they have, but the truth is that this small gathering has more influence over the GOP than the 77 million Americans who voted for the president. This is true, unfortunately.
Stand up, Trump and Netanyahu.
Embarrassing, pathetic, sad, unapologetic, unafraid. Drop a like below if you stand with the fearless Hebrew hammer Randy Fine as they hold up signs proclaiming that Tucker is not MAGA. These people don't care about America. They're not interested in making America great. They're interested in one country in the Middle East. We're going to cancel them and deplatform them. It's called the market system.
Hitler admirers, Stalin admirers, Jew haters, American haters, Churchill haters. You're damn right we're going to cancel them and deplatform them.
Churchill isn't American.
It's called the market system. They don't have a lifetime job like a bureaucrat who we're going to protect. And if they're your friend, there's something wrong with you. No Hitler admirer.
Okay, so if you have friends who criticize the Care Bear Nation, then they're going to come after you? What does that mean?
Holocaust denier platformer should be anybody's friend, as a matter of fact. You don't get to wrap your psychotic, mental, unhinged, Nazi, Klan, jihadist.
He's literally describing himself.
Bullshit around American patriotism.
He doesn't care about America. He doesn't care about patriotism except for a foreign country in the Middle East.
You don't get to claim you're MAGA and America first when you...
This is also a guy who was a never-Trumper.
You're lining up with the Marxists and the Islamists
and he's not America first. He doesn't care about America. He only cares about his country in the Middle East, which, you know, he should maybe move to. Care Bears in panic in the United States. Their support is collapsing. In their last stronghold, MAGA, they are accusing Tucker Carlson. Randy Fine accuses Carlson of being the most dangerous anti-Care Bear in America. He has chosen to take on the mantle of leader of a modern-day mustache man youth. Make no mistake. It's just such absurd rhetoric. I mean, they sound like the communists that you see online crying about Nazis everywhere and fascists. This is literally them.
But I'm here for the kids down here because it's easy to talk about anti-Semitism on the left. I want to talk about the dark force rising on our side.
The dark
Multiple
force.
speakers have talked about the rise of anti-Semitism on the right. But it is not enough to speak in platitudes or generalities about the fight. We must call evil by its name.
Which country was rioting for the right to our prisoners? That's right, the Care Bear Nation. You want to talk about evil?
5 years ago,
please.
If I was talking to my father, who's watching, hi Dad, if I was talking to my father at 8:59 p.m. at night.
This is a man who has tweeted out that we should nuke Gaza. He wants to talk about evil.
He would say, Randy, I gotta go. Tucker Carlson's gonna be on. But make no mistake, today, Tucker Carlson is the most dangerous anti-Semite in America. He has chosen to take on the mantle of leader of a modern-day Hitler Youth, to broadcast and feature those who celebrate the Nazis, those who call for the extermination of Israel, to defend Hamas, to even criticize President Trump for stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions. Friends, make no mistake, Tucker is not MAGA.
This is just utter insanity. And I don't know what they hope to accomplish with this. I don't understand why it does seem like they are spiritually incapable of recognizing how repugnant their rhetoric is to the average person. Like, honestly, who hears this and thought that this would be a good message, a winning message, that this was a good idea for them to say? Then, of course, we have Lady Graham with his usual insanity.
But I just want to make it really clear, I'm in the Hitler sucks wing of the Republican Party.
Everyone I don't like is Hitler.
This is Hitler shit. I don't know. Anyway, here's what I do know. You can sit in a basement with weird people and say weird things. It's a free country, right? But if you ever run for office as a Republican and you embrace this weird shit, we're going to beat your brains out.
Huh. What an odd and violent thing to say. How bizarre. And is this man on some substance? Why does he appear to be like buzzed or mildly intoxicated?
If you're an anti-Semite and you think because somebody loves Israel their brain is wired, that means you got a brain. Nothing wrong with your brain. We will meet you on the battlefield of political discourse.
Right. As you're calling to censor and deplatform people, you're going to meet them on the battlefield of discourse.
And we will beat you politically. I want the world to know anti-Semitism, anti-Israel rhetoric, anti-Israel thought is not the road to being elected as a Republican.
Yeah, we already know that you're a controlled, bought-out loser party. The faces of the RJC, my gosh, embarrassing. Yeah, we're supposed to believe these are Americans. They represent America. My goodness, it's absurd. At the RJC, Ted Cruz says that he repeatedly begged the president to bomb Iran for weeks. Don't let the 7K Club gaslight you into thinking their attacks on Tucker and me are about anti-Care Bearism. It is about the Care Bear Nation losing control over America 100%.
And then the single most important national security decision the president has made was the decision to launch the bombing raid on the Iran nuclear facilities.
Nobody believes this.
I can tell you I was on the phone with the president every single week urging him to do that, and I will tell you there are other voices within the administration and without who were telling him not to.
Good. I'm glad there were people telling him not to, because you people are insane. Alan, I left my underpants on Dershowitz, who has defended NAMBLA and is, an associate of Epstein, says, shame on Tucker Carlson, shame on any Republicans who tolerate him. The GOP must be cleansed of Fuentes' filth. Yeah, the former Epstein defender claims.
Remember, the extreme right and the extreme left always have one thing in common. They hate the Jews. Stalin hated the Jews and Hitler hated the Jews. And now we're seeing people on the hard left, Mondami, hating Israel, hating the Jews. We're seeing people on the hard right, Fuentes and Carlson, doing the same thing. America is a centrist country. It thrives at the center. You can be a centrist Republican by Bill Buckley.
Yeah, I don't think so. This is ridiculous. And, you know, part of me feels like, in a way, they are themselves, this rhetoric, it seems like they're trying to elevate Mamdani and Fuentes by constantly talking about them. It gives them kind of like street cred in a way, doesn't it?
You can be a centrist liberal like me, but you cannot be a good American and be a neo-Nazi Holocaust denier or somebody who puts people like that on the air. So shame on Tucker Carlson, shame on Fuentes, and shame on those Republicans.
No, cry about it. In America, we have freedom of speech and we can talk about whatever we want to talk about on platforms, on the airways. And that has always been the case historically until a certain cohort of individuals basically seized control of the United States and has been changing it and taking away our freedoms and our rights, freedom of speech, freedom of association, things enshrined in our Constitution, and are trying to take it away from us. Levin rages about Tucker and Nick to Republican Care Bear coalition, labeling Marjorie Taylor Greene a, quote, traitor and an enemy. What a bizarre thing to say. What do you mean we don't cancel people? We canceled Pat Buchanan. We canceled the JBS. We canceled Joseph Sobron. We cancel stuff all the darn time. But you can't mention their...
For 6 months, I've been
fighting
fighting
their
these
power,
bastards,
their influence.
whether it's Tucker Carlson or whether it's Nick Fuentes. Not Fuentes, Nick Fuentes. And I've been looking over my shoulder looking for help. And you know what I found? Nothing. Nothing. We're here today to do something about this.
Somebody has to do something.
What do you mean we don't cancel people? We canceled David Duke. Donald Trump canceled David Duke. We canceled Pat Buchanan. We canceled the John Birch Society. We canceled Joseph Sobron. We canceled pornography.
I don't even know who Joseph Sobron is. But I guess it's maybe somebody I should look into. It's just insane, outrageous behavior. We do not support canceling people, taking away their right to free speech, taking away their right to have a public platform, to speak in the town square, to associate with anyone they want. Debanking people. This is the kind of thing they've done. We're talking about life ruination tactics. That's what they champion. It is disgusting. It is anti-American, and it's unacceptable. Mark Levin says politicians who don't condemn people he doesn't like need to be afraid. What an odd thing to say.
How about little Adolf Fuentes? What did his family do for this country? What did he do? How about Tucker Carlson? What did he do for the country? He interviews the Qatari, interviews Putin, he interviews the lowest of scum.
Yes, it's called journalism, where you interview controversial figures. That's what it is, and you interview world leaders.
Genocidal maniac.
Why don't you ask why Bibi was using Qatar as a cutout to fund Hamas?
From the face of the earth. Now he's attacking Christian Zionists. He's literally attacking the Bible.
No, he's not.
That are evangelical Christian brothers and sisters. And it's not just that. It's Catholics. Ted Cruz is a...
No, he's not. Ted Cruz is certainly not. He's a crypto Care Bear. This is embarrassing behavior. But look at how they try to hide behind Christianity when it is convenient for them. But in the Care Bear Nation, they'll spit on Christians trying to preach about the Lord.
Catholic, he's a great man. He's out there fighting. They're attacking Christianity. Why? Because
they're not attacking Christianity. What they are doing is saying that you can't call yourself a Christian and support the evils that the Care Bear Nation is doing. And the Care Bears themselves mock Christians and they spit on them. They have TV shows where they literally crucify a monkey and they mock the monkey, which is supposed to represent Christ. That's literally what they think of him, and they think that that's comedy. They think that's funny.
Christianity rejects what they're spewing too.
Christianity also rejects what the Care Bear Nation is doing and what you're spewing.
Judaism rejects it. Christianity rejects it. Atheists reject it.
The Care Bear so-called religion rejects Christianity and again mocks it. So it's just insane. The Care Bear Nation's I-24 News reports that Randy Fine is working towards forming a minyan in the House. There was only one House Care Bear Republican just a few years ago. It's grown to 4. Fine told me he's working on the Minyan Project. They want to get 10 Care Bear House representatives. They're just outright talking about how they're taking over the country.
One last note here, Benita. The conference this weekend involves speeches from all 4 House Jewish Republicans. There was only one House Jewish Republican just a few years ago. It's grown to 4. Randy Fine told me he's working on, quote unquote, the Minyan Project. They want to get 10 Jewish House Republicans, although the various
so funny that it's pronounced minion.
Jewish Republicans have different ways of getting to those 10, but it's an eclectic mix, one from
different ways of getting to those 10. Yeah, let's talk about your subversion of the electoral process to benefit you. This man, psychotic, we already played that clip. The Care Bear Federations of North America CEO Eric Fingerhut revealed Tuesday that he had, quote, internal concerns about publicly lobbying for TikTok to be banned because a prominent Care Bear group pushing the ban, quote, could activate anti-Care Bear tropes about Care Bear power in politics. Yeah, tropes, huh? Nonetheless, he still successfully lobbied for the ban, and now that Care Bear billionaire Larry Ellison is poised to run the site, he's optimistic. Quote, frankly, that part makes us the most optimistic as the parties that seem to be associated with the deal on the, quote, American side, especially Oracle and Ellison personally, who's been such a strong supporter of our community.
We, I would say, at the Jewish Federations of North America are optimistic about this moment. Frankly, the part that makes us the most optimistic is the parties that seem to be associated with the deal on the American side, especially Oracle and Larry Ellison.
So it had nothing to do with Chinese spying. That was not the reason that they needed to ban TikTok and then steal it, basically. It was literally about criticism of the Care Bear Nation. Ted Cruz is now doing the whole silence is violence meme to attack Tucker. If you sit there, you say nothing, you are complicit in evil. This is the real woke right. Yes, exactly.
There's a very good argument America should have intervened on behalf of Nazi Germany in World War II.
Well, I just remember what Patton said before he died. Very odd. Not saying I completely agree with that, but it is very strange, right? The Care Bears ex-Mossad chief brags that they have spread booby-trapped, manipulated equipment like the exploding pagers in all countries you can imagine. How is this rogue state behavior so normalized and tolerated that this criminal admission of perfidy did not make a single headline?
Did you see any surprises in Gaza?
Surprises?
Yeah.
You mean intelligence surprises?
Pages, walkie-talkies. Do you know how many treated equipment do we have in these countries? You don't. I do.
You mean you mean booby-trapped equipment?
Not only booby-trapped.
And spying.
Manipulated equipment.
Manipulated equipment. They boast, they brag about it.
All right.
In which countries are you talking about?
All the countries that you can imagine.
And not Gaza?
Not Gaza.
Nothing
enough.
in Gaza at all.
Did you see that? If we had it, I mean, we knew something about them coming. Something, right? I would have sold them everything. Just everything. I mean, you can't imagine the quantity when I have invented that
They can't help but brag about it, while at the same time pretending that they are eternal victims.
method. That was in 2002 to 2004.
The pager method.
The manipulated equipment method. Okay?
He's saying it's more than just pagers, and I think back to the quote of Milikowski speaking in front of a group of American officials, and he says, yeah, that cell phone you have in your pocket or in your hand, you have a little piece of the Care Bear Nation with you. Huh.
We have already used it. Manipulated equipment. In Second Lebanon War, some of the elements were speaking to us.
How did you use it?
Yeah, just laugh about it. I mean, it's insane. Milikowski thanks Sean Maguire and Mark Levin for fighting on behalf of a foreign nation in their information war.
Stefanik, you did an amazing job. The context issue, you hit them right on the nose. Tila Falik, part of the Falik family, our dear friends. Sean McGuire of Sequoia, you joined the battle, and we welcome it. Of course, we have Ambassador Danny Danon and Consul General Ophir Kunis holding the fort here in America, and Jonathan Tobin of JNS, and of course, how is he called? The great Mark Levin. I mean,
it's such a joke. And here's Mark Levin trying to, order Americans around, telling them they need to be afraid of him, threatening people, acting completely deranged.
The great Mark Levin, just a man of courage and truth and an indomitable,
stunning and brave
spirit. And we even went to the same high school. He is...
Oh, well, that was a very interesting admission, wasn't it? Huh. And of course, little Ben, whining and crying as usual. It's just absolutely outrageous, this freak.
Hey folks, I want to do something different on today's show. We're going to cover one topic in depth. That topic is, I think, the most important thing happening in the country. It was a hot topic last week, but
We're going to talk about one topic on today's show. It's the same topic I talk about every show.
to take some time to really gather my thoughts and speak on it in coherent fashion, holistic fashion. That topic is the fragmentation of the political right. That fragmentation,
which you are spearheading, and which is being caused by the belligerent behavior of a foreign nation that you, sir, are an agent of,
is being caused purposefully by a splinter faction of people led by a young man named Nick Fuentes. They call themselves the Groypers. They are white supremacists. They hate women, Jews, Hindus, many types of Christians, brown people of
it's just all so tiresome, guys. It's all so tiresome. But, I do think it's funny when they publicly speak about this stuff and they just literally say all of the things that their critics have been saying about them. Like, they admit to it, they boast about it, they brag about it, but then they pretend to be victims and they go, oh my God, I can't believe this. Can you believe what they're saying about us? It's gotten to the point where, like, we are beyond parody. So, yeah, that's the update there. It's going to get more unhinged as the support for them continues to fall, continues to fail, which it will because of their aberrant behavior and their unhinged psychopathic, sociopathic demands. Americans are just like fed up with this crap. We have our own problems in our country. Most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Most of them have to make choices of buying food that week or, getting enough gas in their car or paying a medical bill. Most Americans are saddled with trillions of dollars of debt at this point. I read the other day that right now, over half of Americans are spending like $1,000 between car payments and car insurance each month, while inflation is as high as it is. I mean, it's a totally rigged economy. There is no free market. We all know that. And so this is going to continue to get worse as the economic conditions get worse, as the dollar continues to be devalued. And it's not going to get any better. And these people are demanding that we spend billions of dollars on a foreign country in aid and then give them all of our military technology and equipment, which they then sell to China. You couldn't make it up if you wanted to. That's how stupid it is. But I'm interested to know what you guys think, and I hope you all have a good day.